back to We Can't Spell Success Without You. PowerPlan. It's been a while since I made a video, probably since I've been to Bulgaria, which was about a 2 weeks lovely time. But just before I went there, I started with back issues, which was an old injury when I was decorating many years ago. The back basically just gave up about 1994, and the odd time you get the odd twinge, which is just one of those things, normally lasts for a few days. When I was over in Bulgaria and just before I went, it started twinging, didn't think much of it, but unfortunately it's carried on, and here I am now, actually quite a lot in pain and trying to sort it out, so I'm going through physio and MRI scans, but it seems to be lasting for 8 weeks or so rather than a few days. So a bit of a bugger, but it means that I've not been active as much as what I wanted to be, but I did want to make this video to keep the channel going and really just to do an update. So first thing I want to say is when I was in Bulgaria, there's a lot of people that have been following the channel over there and they're showing quite a lot of support, which is really nice. A few people was asking, is this book going to be an e-book? Are you going to produce a Bulgarian version? Because of course I'm mainly over in Bulgaria. They have a huge issue with diabetes type 2, and unfortunately medication over there is very expensive. So if you're able to reduce or reverse diabetes type 2 in a natural way, where you're not paying for huge amounts of medication, then it's highly interesting. But the reality is it's just me trying to do this book, trying to keep the YouTube channel going, and reality is, I'm not in a position to translate it. The ebook may launch it as a paperback in English, and then about a year later, if it's successful, start to produce an ebook in different languages. But that's very distant future type projects. So the answer is taken on board, and thank you for your support over in Bulgaria, but it would be a long-term project. So where's the book up to? We actually can see it from here, and I can now say it's 44,535 words, which is now spanning a total of 339 pages, and I'm still writing. I just put that on the web page. I'm still writing. I've just got a section to do about food, and which I've started. Everything else is in there, and just a word from the author. Once again, due to the holiday and back issues, I've not done any writing in June or up to now in July. We're already halfway through in July. Bit of a worry, I was going for the 10th of December release date. I would still love for that to happen, but it's got to be written, it's got to be checked, it's got to be proofwritten. There's a lot that has to be done. So I don't know. So I'm just trying to motivate myself. I mean, for example, if you'd have seen the Facebook group in Bulgaria, a guy actually did a t-shirt for me, which I thought was really nice. I'll put the picture up if you've not already seen it. It's only a draft t-shirt, it's like an idea if you ever wanted to go into this sort of merchandising. But, it's there, it was nice. So I'm getting, motivations to continue, and I want to continue, and I'd love to finish the book off. But at this moment in time, it's a touch difficult. And talking about the t-shirt, here it is. Seems a bit of a wasted opportunity not to wear it, especially when I'm doing these type of videos. So there we go, that's what we had. Made in Bulgaria. We actually had 2. But I'll probably start wearing these for the broadcasts, and it'll give me the motivation to put the t-shirt on. And also, it's a reasonable fit, so I have got further weight to lose, and we'll see this becoming baggier and baggier as the days goes on. Funding, like I said, is that I've got a lot of, I've got some money put to one side for the book. I always did do. I knew that the funding would potentially be an issue. The main source of funding was YouTube, where I was expecting a number of views. I mean, don't get me wrong, getting hundreds, it's far more than what I've expected. And there are a number of subscribers, I think it's up to 4. But for that to become successful, as in making pennies, you need 1,000 subscribers. So that's not realistic. So I am now in a position where I'm going to re-look at Indiegogo, possibly Patreon to see if we can get support that way rather than YouTube. But these videos will be continued to be made. The YouTube channel and Facebook groups will be the main sources of communication. But it'd be nice to get some funding in from Indiegogo or Patreon, YouTube if possible. And also, which is a bit of a wild shot, is that when I was in the 90s, we used to always have lots of jokes whizzing around the office and banter type jokes, and I used to collect them. So I was thinking, you know, I must have that joke book somewhere, and I actually found it today, and it's a joke book which is nearly 700 pages long in an A4 structure. So one of the possible things we might do over the next few weeks when I'm feeling a little bit better is actually look at that book, see if it can be broken into smaller books, and then perhaps release those first for sale over at Amazon, and that then would become a fund or a way of funding this project. So for funding, looking at several different things, I think the book idea, the joke book idea, is probably going to be the most favourite, and if it do go down that route and that gets released first, then we'll let you know on the channel. So weight update, incredibly, and this is where the plan comes in again, the back plays up from an incident that happened when I was very young, and if you're on a traditional diet, then the weight will start going up. You're not active. I mean, I've just been lazing around, especially for the last 2 weeks. Just been in the house, exercises zero really, you know, just walking up and downstairs for the toilet or just pottering around, you know, every 30 minutes or so just to keep the back loose. So in these situations, just about every diet will fail and people will put weight on. Going on holiday to Bulgaria, once again, you know, hell with the diet, we're having fun, let's go on with it, and generally people will put weight on. Interestingly, in my situation is that the weight's hovering. So like I said, when I went for the diabetes test a couple of months back now, or a good few weeks ago at least, is that my weight was 17 stone 10, and it would bring a graph up, which I'll put it over it. No, put it over it, where the tally is. So looking at that graph, basically, the weight over the last 6 weeks is still hovering, with slight fluctuation around 17 stone 10. When the back's better, plan, you know, keep with the habits. I mean, that's the beauty of the book. That's achieved just doing, this is just simply achieved by doing the habits. To control weight and to lose weight is different. You need to put a little bit of effort into it, but it's very, very simple and basic effort. So that is wonderful for me, it's wonderful for anybody else, and it also shows us that when you stop doing this book, to try and adjust your weight, keep the habits going, and this is the sort of result that you'd be expected to achieve. New projects. I always find this one a bit of an interesting one. So as a little bit more exposure has become on the book, there's been 2 questions really. One is from, I think it's Julia, who's asking about food, saying I'm diabetic, I keep having things like ravioli, help. Now I did speak to Julia, and my original intention was to Skype her, interview her, and to make things a little bit more interesting, and then broadcast something on YouTube once, you know, things have been overcome or there's still a struggle which will be related to others. Unfortunately, due to, like I said, my back, I can't do that at this moment in time. So if you're watching, not forgot about you. What I'm going to do probably in a week or so is do a video about this, and not only the foods that she's mentioned, but other foods regarding diabetes. So you know, so that'll be an interesting watch, looking at ways of controlling it. And the second project, which won't be in the book really, it's too late, and it really stems back to 2010. Like I say, I had a group of people, people had diabetes type 2, and when they was doing a trial version of the book, they lost weight, which was all I was interested in, but they had to adjust the medication for diabetes type 2. Moving forward, you know, I was waiting for letters from these people so I could include it in the book. Those letters never arrived. Currently, I'm still waiting for my letter from the NHS, and it's not arrived, which is the reason why I did the secret recordings. I didn't expect it to arrive, because it's not arrived with people since 2010. I don't think it's ever going to arrive. And I asked for my letter, I think it was end of April, and here we are in July, and it's still not arrived. So once again, I do apologise for the secret recordings, but that was the only way of gaining any form of evidence about what was happening. I've had people come up to me saying, well, I've got diabetes type 1, what can I do? Now, this is an element which I'm not going to put in the book, and it's a typical element which can be covered by YouTube. I do have ideas about diabetes type 1, I think that would be very, very successful, and I will be doing another video coming up covering that as well. And I'll also be involved in the amount of family now, all have got diabetes type 1. We'll be helping them see what the results are. We may do interviews in a few months' time, but if not, we'll just do it as an update and see what happens moving forward. If you ever put diabetes type 1 in the book, it's going to be a revision of the book, but also I think it's a good idea that the book quotes the website, the YouTube site heavily, so perhaps it's even a footnote, you know, this is an ongoing research project, and in fact more information will be on YouTube, more information will be on Facebook. View that maybe as a you know, a last note from me in the book, rather than trying to put even more chapters and make this book huge, or trying to do a second book, which you know, I mean, if I was going to do a second book, I'd rather do a recipe book, a cooking book, rather than, you know, another plan or second edition, third edition of this plan. I'd just rather it be out there. It's just one edition and that's it. What's happening in the future? So we're going to have the video about the type of foods specifically for this question for diabetes type 2. We're going to address diabetes type 1. I am going to do some cooking in the kitchen, which is a cooking series range of videos. What I'm going to do is kind of explain that in more detail on the next video, and then plod along cooking different things and see if we can cook things better, or at least do things better and get people thinking more about food, which is also good because I'm writing that section in the book into the last section, so it kind of ties in and makes it more interesting for me. That's an Indiegogo page I'm going to have a look at, and obviously look at the joke book, see if that can be funded. So I think that's it. It's just a quick video. I'm going to have a lie down now. You can tell I'm sweating a bit. It's mainly it's really hot again. We've had a cracking summer. Well done to England for getting into the semi-finals. I know that we lost and we didn't quite make the final, but it was a massive achievement since 1990, and any of those guys are watching, well done. I'm dead proud of you. The country should be proud of you. It's a shame that we didn't get to the finals. It's a shame that Russia didn't qualify, because the semi-finals with Russia would have been quite an historic event as well, but you know, this is the way football is. So well done guys, and to everybody else, please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, like and share on Facebook, you know, figure out which way is which. I am going to try and get some more videos out, you know, at least one a week moving forward, but like I said, due to the back issues and then MRI scans and then physio, and then it might be acupuncture, so some of it might be difficult, but I will persevere. Anybody what's contacted me, I haven't forgot you at all. It's just a difficult situation, and more than anything, thank you everybody else who has subscribed. Thank you for people that like, thank you for people that share. Keep your comments coming, and you know, let's try and get this out by December as planned. Hopefully it will be. And any ideas that you've got, you know, in the kitchen, what's your favourite food? If you have a diet, what's the food you can't manage without? But we can come up with an alternative. If you're watching on Facebook, then I am going to re-invite people back to the group probably next week. So if you've had a couple of invites and you don't want to join the book group, then apologies in advance. I'm going to do this once every 6 months, I've decided, so people probably will get repetitive invitations to join the group. If you don't want to join the group, just ignore it, you know, I won't be offended. And if particularly you're getting fed up and you keep sending you these invites, then please let me know, and I'll put you on an exempt list. And don't forget that we still have golden tickets over at Molly's Candles in Lee Market, where she does candles, humidifiers, essential oils, lots of stuff, bath bombs, etc. Really nice lady. She has a story herself, which is a wonderful thing. If you have a chat with her, her name's Heather. But go and have a look at products. It is part of relaxation. We do cover relaxation in the book, so it ties in nicely with the book. But not only that, go and treat yourself to some bath bombs and go say hello. You know, she's there. She's closed Wednesday and Sunday, but the rest of the time she's there. While you're there, grab one of her business cards, grab one of her business cards, have a look at the back. If it's a school ticket, then you've won a book, and then just email them. Okay, so thank you very much for watching again. I'll see you soon. Take care, and looking forward to the next video.